You know what the saddest thing about success is? Imagine building your dream life for 40 years and never taking the time to enjoy it. I was having a conversation with my brother about that because I know for myself, like we saw our mom do that. She worked most of her life, my dad as well. They worked most of their lives. My father passed a number of years back. And that's one thing I always think about is I don't think he ever got an opportunity to enjoy the fruits of his labor. You know, here comes a guy that leaves Haiti, takes a risk to come to America and, go through the process and try to make a better life for his family, which he successfully did. After that point, it was just constant work until the day that he died. And there wasn't much vacations, many getaways, none of that. And so I look at my mom, who was, again, in that same boat. They both had to work incredibly hard. And my mother, quote unquote, retired a few years back, but she still has to work because life is expensive. And I think of all the years that she put in, I just wish she had known to take more time to herself. That's one of the things that people knew about her, is that she was just a hardworking woman. She just constantly worked, which I understand it. I find so much joy in some of the work that I do that even while I'm out here, for example, on some, which I'll get into in a second, I find myself still doing some work here and there because I really find joy and accomplishment when completing something. I am on a bit of a getaway. This was something that my brother did for me, which I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful for him. I'm just blessed to have a brother like him. He planned this getaway for me, and it's such a great place. I'll try to, put in some photos and videos. Even just my view right here, it's just beautiful. And the house that we stayed at, it was just so cozy and so nice, and it just put things into perspective that I need to do more of this. So one of the things that my brother and I are considering is making this some type of tradition, because we look at our lives and we think of how hard we've worked and how hard we continue to work, and you just don't take, an opportunity to enjoy it. Like, that's important. Not worry about the stressors in life, bills, family, having, making someone happy, and communication, and all of these things that we have to constantly think about. This is just a really good reset, because now I'm ready to go back into my week. I just feel so refreshed and rejuvenated. Some of the things that I did, we went to this rock exploration thing. I'm a very adventurous person. I mean, with limits. This rock exploration thing was, it's a relatively safe thing to do, meaning like it's a company that actually found the spots that were safe, that people kind of climb and go through, and they were able to, you're able to kind of go through these caves, and these cave things were crazy. Like, those who actually do cave exploration where they can actually get stuck, I'm not that brave, but I thought it was fun. After that, we went to this arcade where you play all of these different, all of like the old school original arcade. That was a blast. And then we went UTVing at this ATV spot. And I've been ATVing a bunch of times before, but this is my first time actually riding a UTV. And I prefer UTVs. I'm sure, someone might, go, oh no, ATVs is the way to go. Hey, whatever floats your boat, but I think UTVs are awesome. I guess this is just a moment of reflection, a moment of just going, you work very hard, and it's important to look ahead and go, okay, I'm gonna work hard for, 3 months, 4 months, and I'm just gonna get away. And that getaway doesn't have to be luxurious. That getaway doesn't have to be, you don't have to spend a lot of money for it. It's just saying, no, I'm gonna actually utilize my PTO. I'm gonna actually carve out time in my schedule to say, I'm not taking any more clients. I'm not gonna do that this weekend. just so I can get away and relax. Maybe that relax looks like reading a book. I remember learning, I forget who it was. I want to say it's Bill Gates, I could be wrong, and I don't know how true this is, but I remember learning he takes vacations specifically to read. Like he'll take a week off just to come and read. And we tend to try to fit that in within our day, which is so hard. I know for myself, I try to read my Bible, I try to read different books, I try to continue to educate myself in the field that I'm in. And you try to pack so much in one day that it almost feels impossible to keep up with. Because obviously you have laundry, you have to cook, you have to sleep, you have to make time for family, you have to, all of these things that continue to add up. I'm kind of rambling at this point. I just want to encourage you guys to look ahead, try to plan some time off, whether that's for yourself, with you and a friend, with you and a group of friends. What good is it if you work really hard and you don't ever get to enjoy it? So remember, you are the algorithm. What you choose to feed your mind is what grows. So feed it well.